In this episode, we're bringing you the S68 in the Land Yacht. This is nearly 5,900 pounds. That engine code is the same M engine that's found in the X5 M competition. We're showcasing the 2026 BMW X7 M60i in Tanzanite blue 2 metallic over tartufo full Milano leather. They don't make an M for the X7, they make an XB7, which is a lot more money than this, and it's housing the same engine that you're getting here. So would you go that route, or would you save the dough? I'm Anthony from Supercar Throttle, and I like to bring these type of performance vehicles to the channel because it illustrates what you can capture out of a family luxury SUV, but it's almost like a super SUV, which is kind of unheard of when you're considering it's an 8.7-inch clearance. It has a adaptive M suspension, which means it will regulate depending on the driving modes. You have a launch control in this thing. You got 523 horsepower underneath the hood of this. Now, going back to the question, would you option the XB7 that has 108 horsepower more, 37 pound-feet of torque more? I mean, now you know what you can get out of this 4.4-liter BMW M-powered turbo, twin turbo, that's what it is, V8 with 553 pound-feet of torque. Top speed, though, is going to be different. Here you're at 130 to 155 miles per hour. XB7, you're more into 180. Probably you could go faster. These are just BMW specs. Now, there is another variable that can go into content when you're spending near $130,000, but it's going to be a lot more money. Because if you go into the autobiography Range Rover Sport, you can still capture this engine. You go into the SV, which you already saw the review that is on the channel, that's over $200,000. And it's not that much more horsepower than this. Standard LED headlights, daytime runnings. It integrates into the iconic kidney grille to active grille shutter. It illuminates. Now for 2027, this is going to be refreshed. It's going to be more boxy, so it's actually going to be cut off. It's not going to be as wide, but I think it's going to be a little bit more top to bottom. And there's some talks about the headlamp assembly not being a two-part, but from the spy videos, it looks like it's going to be relatively the same. The lower is going to be a little bit more boxy. I think it's going to look more athletic, but the way the kidney grille sits here, I think it's going to look a little bit better. 16 mpgs for the city, 20 mpgs for the highway. It's not going to sip fuel. It's a freaking V8 twin turbo. Why would you expect that out of this box on wheels? It's a Land Yacht, and we got 22-inch wheels. We got these blue brake calipers. This is 4 pistons in the front because we have the M Sport Pro package, which also adds the shadowline trim that makes this Tanzanite blue 2 metallic just pop a little bit more so. And a nice thing about this particular color is it can look a little bit more dark like a black color, but because of the weather conditions, you can see that blue and it pops. It actually looks like my Maserati Ghibli. Near 50-50 weight distribution, and you know, you could throw that out because you got rear axle steering that's standard. So you don't really have to worry about geometry. It's not a top-heavy vehicle, so you could actually take bins on this, which for me, if I was looking for a performance 6-seater or 7-seat configuration, I would go this all day long. Because the XB7, I like it, don't get me wrong, but I mean, you're only maybe 0.6 seconds quicker than this. It doesn't make sense that you're getting that much power, which I could probably spend a couple $1,000s to tune this engine and save. And for 2027, the side is gonna get some updates. You're gonna have a new wheel design. The side skirt is gonna flare out a little bit more so, similar to the X5. 203.6 inches, that's the length of this. It could extend. Unfortunately, because it's only spy videos and pictures and clips that I was able to see, it's hard to actually get the numbers when you're looking at it like that. It's not gonna have the Claire platform that's on the X5, so I like that they're not giving that electrified style, and for 27, we may see the iX7 in North America. It might skip a year, it just depends. It's not fully confirmed. Hopefully, by the time this video is released, it will be confirmed, and then if it is, I'll put it into the description. The rear gets standard LED taillights. The lower is going to be more aggressive on the 2027 variant. It's going to be more boxy. You'll still have the quad exhaust tips. They're keeping the S68 engine alive too, so I appreciate that. Thank you, BMW, for giving us a powerful engine in these times that we're in. Now the taillights will be reworked. It's going to be more sleek, but here is going to be a bit of a con to me because it's going to look more so like a Range Rover Sport, in which it's not keeping the true essence or the DNA of BMW alive, because you want that boxy look, something that's kind of out of the norm with a crazy performance vehicle. So they're keeping all that, but then they're trying to go a little bit more elegant. I mean, let me know your thoughts on that. Is it worth the price? For me, Hands down, it is. Would I pick this over the 27 variant? Probably would go 27, or at least wait till that time frame, only because traditionally BMW increases the performance. So that would mean we're going to get an increase in horsepower and torque, and more than likely the dynamics is going to be closer to that 50-50 weight distribution. 4.5, 0 to 60. Let's see what we get here. I like the exhaust that filters in. Braking is great. Maneuverability is awesome. I mean, this is near 3 tons. Look at it just gripping with the rear axle steering, near 50-50 weight distribution. I mean, you could, the burble's coming in. I'm gonna just throw it into comfort. Sound deadening is great. Go to Eco Pro. And now you got the everyday drive. Obviously, you're not going to be buying this for MPGs, and when you're comparing this against competition, everybody in class is going to be more money than this vehicle, hands down. And especially for the dynamics that you get, and for 2027, you don't have to be concerned if you're wanting to wait. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because they're not doing the clear platform that's on that X5, which a lot of people are kind of skeptical about, because that iconic kidney grille, I mean, it shrunk so much, I don't know. When it comes here, it's going to be more boxy, similar to maybe like a 7 Series layout. So I appreciate that. It's more than likely going to be longer and wider, and it's definitely going to have more horsepower and torque, because that's usually what BMW does traditionally with their vehicle, especially for a full refresh on their cars. But when you have something that's already good, how do you make it better? That's the question that you have to really take in consideration if you are waiting for the 2027 variant. Now, why do you go to the M60i over the base X7? Well, that's 375 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque. You're not going to get this. Now, yes, you're going to get the drive, but you're not going to get that S68 engine that's in the XB7 that goes against vehicles that are even more so out of its class, because those are almost like super SUVs when you're considering a Range Rover Sport SV or a Bentley Bentayga. And a Bentley Bentayga is not going to have a third row capability, so that's why I didn't really talk about it too much in the review, because it doesn't make sense. The deal that you're getting here, under 130 grand, capturing all these extra features that you would have to tick the box for to a regular Range Rover Sport autobiography, and you would still pay an additional $20,000, $30,000. That's why this literally unlocks the best of everything in one, and going for 2027, well, we're not actually losing the platform design going into that Claire design. And we're keeping the S68 engine. So that's why I may consider waiting to see what they're doing all around. The exterior, it looks okay. I'm not too bad with the styling. The grille, I think, is the only thing that maybe after 6 months I'll get used to, because I'm so used to this, the whole platform layout, but there is some pros and cons. And to go into the cons, the auto start stop, the damn thing just stops all the time, around 5 miles per hour. Doesn't matter if you're in Sport, Sport Plus, whatever it is, it's still going to engage. Only way to take that off is you got to go into the infotainment screen, and everything is through the infotainment screen. I just don't understand why the auto industry still thinks, considering how many people are complaining about this tech-forward driving vehicles. If I wanted a smartphone to drive me, I would just simply have a connector and put it right there in front of the gauge cluster and be done with it. I want a vehicle that has the DNA of an S68, 50-50 weight distribution, quick 0 to 60s with a fast top speed. And that's what you're getting with the X7. They don't go too crazy. You are getting iDrive 8.5. There is still some glitch to it, don't get me wrong. That's with every system, but a lot of that is also predominantly because of the over-the-air updates. They're a little bit lazy when it comes to this opposed to your cell phone. And when you put $156,000 MSRP opposed to $113,900, you can see where I'm going at. Now, obviously, the base X7 xDrive 40, you're under $87,000. So it is a huge bump going that route, but then the power is also a huge bump. 523 horsepower opposed to 375. I mean, you're talking 148 horsepower difference. That, to me, shows the deal you're getting, because when you go into the M60i opposed to the XB7, it's only a little bit over 100 horsepower more. So this is why I'm saying this is the sweet spot. There's a little bit of traffic, but we're going to try to show you a little bit of the maneuverability for your day in and day out. 203.6 inches long. The 2027 is going to obviously be longer. Can we get through? Well, there's the maneuverability. Soundtrack to the S68. So for the daily, you can do it. And you can go above and beyond, because you could take this to a motorsport, spend a few grand. I personally would do it if I bought it new, because then I would get the full savings of that XB7 here and get more power, because you're basically getting the same damn car. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check this next video out right here.